In this lesson video, we are going to create the monkey head model that we have discussed as a challenge project in the previous video. Before we start, first, I want to make the 3D viewport larger. We can do this by removing the timeline area. So right-click in the border here, choose Join Area, and move our mouse cursor down like this. Not up, but down to the timeline area and then click. So now, we have more space for working with our 3D model. Next, we don't need all of these objects, so press A to select all of them, press X, and then choose Delete. Next, we need to make sure that the 3D cursor is at the center of the world. If it is not, then you can press Shift-C to center it. Next, we need to create the monkey head model. Press Shift-A, Mesh, and then choose Monkey. Then, we want to make this monkey head model bigger. So activate the Scale tool, and just drag like this to make it bigger. Now, I want to show you how we can scale the object exactly 3 times of the previous size. To do that, we need to access the Last Operation Parameters panel. We can see we have 3 separate input fields for each of the axes. Instead of clicking and typing each of them one by one, we can just drag like this to select all of them, then type 3, then hit enter. As we can see, now all of the scale values are set to 3. I think this is big enough for our project. Let's move this up a bit so it doesn't overlap with the floor grid. Let's start by adding the nose first. We are going to do this inside the edit mode. So press Tab to go to the edit mode. For the nose, we will use a simple UV sphere. Press Shift-A, then choose UV sphere. Next, we need to move the sphere to the front. Because by default the sphere is already selected, we can just activate the Move tool and just move this to the front like this. Then move it up. And I think I need to make this a bit smaller. And move this back a little. Now, if we want to make the nose more like Squidward nose, we can scale it at Z-axis only. And let's rotate it in X-axis. I think we already have a nice Squidward-like nose now. Next, let's add the head. Press Shift-A and then choose Cone. Let's tilt this cone a bit using the X-axis. And scale it up. And let's move it so it is perfectly placed on top of the monkey head. I think we need to scale this up again. And just do a final tweak for the position. Okay, I think the head is perfect now. Next, we need to add the eyeglasses. Press Shift-A and then choose Cylinder. To turn this cylinder into a lens, we can simply scale this down in the Z-axis direction. Then, we need to rotate it so that it faces the front direction. Basically, we need to rotate it 90-degree angle in the X-axis. Now, there are actually many ways to do this. For now, let's use what we have already learned. First, use the Rotate tool and rotate the cylinder in the X-axis like this. Then, to make the previous rotation precisely at a 90-degree angle, we can open the bottom panel and change this angle value here to 90 and then press Enter. So that is one way to do it. Next, use the Move tool to place the cylinder at the front of the left eye. Our left side, that is. I think this is too big. Let's scale it down. And move this a bit to the right. Okay, I think we already have a nice looking lens at the left side. We can now duplicate the lens to the right by going to the Mesh menu and then choose Symmetrize. And now we have asymmetrical eyeglasses on the monkey head. The last thing we need to do is to tweak the vertices of the mouth so it has a bigger smile. Let's close this panel so it doesn't get in the way. And let's activate the Select and Move tool and just tweak the vertices until you are satisfied with the shape of it. Now, I know this method will not produce a symmetrical geometry. That is totally fine. We are going to cover how to create symmetrical model in the next section of this course series, inshallah. So there you have it, our monkey head model challenge finished.